Welcome and thank you for your time. Before we begin with the illustration of our creation, let us proceed with a brief disclaimer. Our videos are all solely for the purpose of illustrating our programs and all their functionalities. Any reference we may make to specific assets, buy or sell prices, as well as anything else that may relate to a trader's operations, is not trading or financial advice. Our opening market positions or placing orders on any asset is not trading advice or suggestions. The trades shown are opened and closed by us in an absolutely random manner without the slightest assessment of risk or benefit and without the aim of closing them in profit, as they are made on a demo account opened solely for the purpose of creating the videos you will see. Our programs do not bring profit strategies and do not promise profit. They do not enhance strategies that are already structured. Our programs are trading tools that support the trader but do not replace the trader and his management and decision-making skills. Our programs also do not relieve you of the duty to inform yourself and study trading in order to be aware of any risks associated with it. Lastly, we apologize if the quality of the video in some cases shows a lag due to screen recording that makes the program seem slow or jerky, because this is purely a video making problem. Thank you and enjoy your viewing. Our Hermes is the messenger of the gods, and from today it is also for traders. It has the function of a control panel from which to open and close positions, and also send and cancel orders, keeping the main controls at your fingertips. In addition, Hermes acts as an intermediary between two or more accounts by copying the trades executed from the main one to all the others, as fast as only the messenger of the gods can be. Let's see all its special features together. Like all our creations, Hermes is multilingual, with a choice of English, Italian and Spanish language. It has a look in 4 versions and a choice of 3 of the most popular fonts. The fourth modifiable input parameter is the transparency. Since an interface of a certain size could be too invasive and conceal part of the chart, which is essential for a good operativity, Hermes can be adjusted so that the chart can be seen and at the same time the control panel is within easy to reach. The window is in a fixed position but can be minimized using the appropriate button. At startup, the program will ask you which operations you would like to begin with. We're going to start the illustrations from the Positions panel. As you can see, on the left-hand side we have all the fields needed to open a position. They are activated by clicking on them with the mouse and, as is obvious, some of them are indispensable for being able to open a position. Hermes checks that the data entered is correct, in some cases corrects it, and where this is not possible, does not allow the operation to continue and warns the user that the data entered is incorrect. Let us take volume size as an example and enter an incorrect value. The value is incompatible with the base values set by the broker, so the program warns with an alert. In the case of an incorrect symbol, Hermes warns in the same way, except if the error is having written in lowercase the letters that make up the ticker, in which case the program automatically corrects by changing everything to uppercase. Leaving the symbol field blank is understood by the program as if the symbol you wish to operate on is the current symbol, i.e. the symbol of the chart on which the program is open. The following fields, from magic number to take profit, are optional. The number of open positions field shows the number of open positions on the terminal, all of them, not just those opened by the program. The button Stop Loss Take Profit in points gives the possibility to express their value in points. Let us open a position as an example. Let's set the volume size first. Then we type the current symbol but writing it in lowercase. You'll see that Hermes will accept it even if it would be in error. We set a magic number and also a comment. Then we enter the stop loss and take profit in points. Let's say 400 points. All we need to do at this point is to choose whether to open it, buy or sell. Let's go long. Now the position has been opened with our desired characteristics. As you can see, the open position display on the right has been activated. It is only activated if it detects open positions on the terminal, and it deactivated by itself if there are none. If there are more than one open positions, the display scrolls from one to the other by clicking on Select a Position. We quickly open another position to show it. Now we have two open positions. The first one opened by Hermes, with the magic number indicated by S, and the other one opened by the terminal. As we scroll through the display, we notice that the one opened by us is shown with the data we entered, the other one does not. We have two buttons for closing and, as we can see, the button Close closes only the position selected on the display, while Close All button closes all those open on the terminal. We open another position to show this function as well. We now have 3 positions in total. We individually close the position opened by Hermes by selecting it on the display and clicking on Close. Now let's close the other 2 in block by simply clicking on Close All. As you may have noticed, the fields relating to the receiver have not been activated, and likewise the Untie button has remained deactivated. This is because these functions are only necessary when Hermes is in receiver mode. But we will see it after introducing you to the sender mode first. This mode, which can be activated by clicking on the appropriate button, sends all open positions on the terminal to other terminals on which Hermes is set as a receiver for opening the same positions. Activating the sender mode does not make much difference to our interface, but in background Hermes works so that the receiver can copy the transactions. Now, in order to best illustrate the sender and receiver functions, it is necessary to open another terminal with another account. Here is the second terminal. We first open Hermes here too, perhaps choosing another color to differentiate them better and changing also the transparency just to show you. Let's set it to the minimum first, at 0. You can see that the window is totally transparent. Let's reset to the maximum now and leave it like that for the demonstration. On this terminal we set Hermes as receiver and notice that the fields have been activated, but the positions that are already open on the sender terminal have not yet been copied. That's because we need to specify a few things first. The first one is the sender's identification number. This is a random number from 0 to 9999 generated by the program when it starts up. It is very unlikely that you will have opened 2 Hermes, sender and receiver, with the same number, but in the unlikely event that this occurs, or if the number generated is one that you do not like, you can change it by clicking on it, but only as long as the sender function has not been activated. Once activated, the number will remain unchanged for the duration of the session until the program is closed. The ID number is used to specify to the receiver which terminal the trades are to be copied from. For various reasons, a trader may need more than 2 terminals opened and copy trades crosswise. To avoid the risk of copying the wrong trades, it is therefore necessary to tell Hermes from which terminal you want to draw the information for opening positions or orders. We do this by clicking on ID and typing in the number of the sender we want to connect to. The second step is to choose whether to copy all open positions to the sender's terminal or only those that interest us. In the first case we will select the Copy All function, and in doing so, as you can see, we have copied all the open positions to the terminal which sends them to us. We can see one thing on the display: namely that all copied positions have a preset comment. The comment shows the name of the program, which means that that is a position copied from Hermes, and a number which is nothing other than the ticket of the original position, the one opened on the sender terminal, so that we can check the correspondence of the positions at any time. At this point, each position copied to the receiving terminal will be subject to the sender's position changes, stop loss, take profit and closing. Only the partial close is not replicated by the receiver. Attempts to change stop loss and take profit from the receiver will result in null and void, and the sender's values will be quickly restored. If you attempt to close the position, the program will warn you that you cannot do so unless you untie the position or do so from the terminal. As you may have already noticed, the untie button is activated once the positions have been copied, as is the status field. The latter indicates the status of the position, which can be independent if the position is not one of those copied by the sender, tied if it has been copied, or untied if a bound position is selected and the untie button is pressed. At this point, the position is no longer dependent on the sender, and it will be possible to implement any changes without the sender having to reset the parameters. The possibility of closing positions that are still tied directly from the terminal is a matter of security, so that in any case it will be possible to intervene quickly. If there are tied positions, the Close All button closes all positions except the tied ones. Can we select the positions to be copied by the sender without having to copy them all? Sure. Hermes makes this possible by activating the magic number function instead of the copy all function. In this way, only those operations that have that specific magic number will be copied from the sender. Obviously, to do this, it is essential that the positions that you wish to copy to the receiver are open on the sending terminal with the magic number that identifies them. Let's take an example. We open several transactions on the sender and only some with our magic number. Let's speed a little bit up this part. Once we've done, on the receiver we specify that we only want to copy those operations with the identifying magic number. Hermes copied only those and discarded the others. The handling of these positions by the receiver is the same as described in the copy all mode. Let's now take a look at the orders section. Operating with orders has few differences from operating with positions, regarding the use of Hermes. The sections are the same, but of course some of the parameters to be entered are different. To place an order, the entry price and the type of order must be specified. If the first one is not entered, the second is not activated but tells the user what to do. After entering an entry price for our trade, the order type field gives us the two possible options, depending on whether the price entered is higher or lower than the current price. Once we have chosen the type of order we want to place, we fill in the remaining fields and click on the Send button to send the order. Everything explained before for position management also applies to order management, so we're gonna skip the explanation for this section. Let's just add a few pointers on how it works. Before entering the ID number from which you wish to copy operations, you must activate the sender function on the terminal that is to send. If you do not do this, even if the ID number is correct, the program will indicate an error because the file from which it is to read the data has not yet been created by the sender, which only creates it once the sender function has been activated. Another point is that Hermes cannot copy itself, in the sense that the ID number from which operations are to be copied cannot be that of the terminal that is to copy them. Again, if we tried this, Hermes would warn about the error. The positions mode and the orders mode are independent of each other as far as the receiving function is concerned. That is to say, if you are already receiving positions from a sender, you can also receive orders from the same sender, receive them from a different sender, or not receive them at all. When activating the receive mode, you will also be asked for an identification number here. It will be the same as that of the positions if we want to receive from the same sender, or different if we choose to receive orders from a third terminal. Let's open one more terminal so that we can illustrate this possibility in the best possible way. In this demonstration, the black Hermes sends positions and receives orders from the blue one. The blue Hermes receives positions from the black and sends orders. Finally, the magenta Hermes receives both positions and orders, the firsts from the black one and the seconds from the blue one. All this is possible by specifying the right ID number. As long as the identification numbers are given correctly, Hermes offers multiple possibilities to fulfill your work, as shown in this purposefully sped up video so as not to bore you too much. As you can imagine, for graphical reasons an illustrative video showing the possibility of working with Hermes on more than 3 terminals would be ill-fitting, due to the difficulty of showing all open terminals in a single window. However, the impossibility is only limited to the editing of the video, and as specified above, as long as the ID numbers are correct, there is no upper limit of terminals on which Hermes can work. Hermes is perfect for working individually as a simple control panel or for group work. Its graphic design is unique and user-friendly, developed to fit into any working environment and make it even more pleasant. Thank you for choosing Hermes. We wish you good work.